Hello and welcome everyone. It's Saturday, January 24th. It's vlog 19. My hair is kind of crazy again, as it was in the last episode, but that's because today, Saturday, we went down and got the shelves I've been talking about. Quick recap for those who don't know. We are going down to my in-laws' house on Saturdays to clean out their house because we're selling it, because my husband's father, my father-in-law, passed away in November, and we're going down there to sell their house without telling the whole story because I've told that a million times. So there were these shelves that are down in their basement that I wanted to bring here to help corral some of the stuff, because we're bringing other stuff over here as well. Both stuff that I can use for my business, which, by the way, I'm a lettering artist, I make signage, blah, blah, blah. We need, we're going to start needing storage space for the stuff we're bringing over. But, stuff that I can use for my business, but also just other stuff that we may use and we may have to get rid of or find someone to take or sell or whatever. Like, we're bringing a lot of stuff up here. We're pretty much going down there and throwing away stuff or donating stuff that we know we're not going to use or no one's going to use or whatever. And then everything else is coming up here to be sorted later. Now, I'm trying to work through the stuff that I know that I'm going to use for now, but I'm going to also start to sort through the other stuff too as time goes on. But the shelves are meant to help with that. At least the three. So we brought two over today. They're down in the basement already. I have a little footage, actually. I don't normally put in other footage, but I'm going to do it this time, as an exception. But anyway, we were able to get two of the shelves in my van. So we are and we brought them down to the basement as we got home. So today I'm not going to have much time, so I'm just going to go down there, and right now they're sort of in the spot they need to be, but I want to get them both lined up where they're supposed to be and maybe start filling them a little bit, and then tomorrow we're going to work on it a little more. So I don't think I have anything else to say. So why don't we get down there and get started? Oh wait, I do have something to say. My washer and dryer are both on right now, so they're making noise down there. So I don't know if I'm going to talk. If I do, just know that there's background noise. I'm going to try to cut it out as much as I can during editing, but that's why I did my intro up here, because it's loud down there right now. So I'm probably just going to speed it up and maybe do a voiceover again, which I don't normally do. But the last three vlogs I've been doing a voiceover because of all this. So I might do a voiceover. We'll see. Anyway, let's get down there. All right, like I said, it's loud. But these are the two cups. 1, 2, and there's more boards to put on them. This area over here is the area that we started cleaning up 2 vlogs ago. I think it was vlog 16, 16? Or wait, where did I just say we're on 19 and it's 17? Oh my goodness, I don't know anymore. Anyway, we started cleaning that area, but some of that stuff is going to go on these shelves. I also have a pile that you can't really see so much beyond the shelves that already I know are going to go there. Plus, we have one more of those shelves coming next week. So right now, what I want to do is move that pile through enough where I can get these 2 shelves flat against the wall where they're supposed to be, and then maybe start filling them today. Otherwise, we're going to do all that tomorrow. But by tomorrow, we should have all the stuff, at least how much is going to fit, because we have another shelf coming. But get the stuff that's supposed to be on the shelves here as much as possible, basically, by the end of tomorrow. We work on it. So anyway, I'm going to start working. Is this a good spot, or should I move you? Move you slightly a little bit here. I think that'll work. Okay. This might not be used. I might bring you over here. I think you can see better over that way. Plus, it's not quite as loud over here. 3 is even going to be pushing it. I think we'll probably make it work. All right, I'm going to move some of this stuff so I can move the shelves down. Here, still leaving a space to go that way. Yeah, all right. Power there in that shelf. I might use. That's gonna be a little iffy with the other shelf. Maybe I might have to get a bigger one. I'll bring them out a little bit. And I'll worry about that when I get there. All right. So, I think a good first step here. So this is stuff. This is extra t-shirt bags, plastic bags, basically, that I bring with me to my events. I haven't sold that many things, basically. There's 1,000 in here. I mean, I took out, I don't know how many, all of them. It's going to be a while before I use these. So, I'm going to bring them back. But I'm thinking I want to put my vendor stuff up here so I can easily grab it. I mean, you can grab easily from any other shelf too, but I think that's probably where that's going to go. So, that's a good start there. Right now, okay, so I have that box, a little buried right now. Probably going to fit on full shelf. I could just keep that separate, put it somewhere else. I don't even know if they're going to stay in the box, honestly. I'm not going to do these yet. These are all fabric that I got. Spare fabric. Okay. I'm a little overwhelmed by everything. What I'm going to end up doing with the bigger ones, because there's two sizes. There's only one more of this size. These are smaller ones. They're like 65 inches tall. I don't have a tape measure right now with me, but I measured them when you're there. 60 something inches. The other ones are like 72. So, and this is up to this vent, which you can't really see here, but like here, this vent is 81 inches, so there's room for the shelf. It's just, there wouldn't be much room for anything on top of the shelf. That's why I wanted the smaller ones here. But I'm thinking some of the bigger ones can be like a divider down here in the space that I just showed you where my studio is. And that can be more for like paint and stuff like that. And then we can use also like half for my studio space, like half this way. They're going to be dividing the room. And then the other half will be for like home storage on the other side. So I think that'll probably be what we do with those. Probably fit like three of those that way. And there's two, I think, in the one room, and then like another 3 in the other room, and then there's one in the garage. I don't even know if I want the garage one. I think that one's just gonna stay. There's 5, I think, 5 or 6 in the house. And I don't think we're gonna use all of those either. So I think we can probably, well, if we use the little nook there too, we could probably fit 4 across, making like kind of a wall to kind of divide the space, because we don't have any walls down here. We're eventually thinking about, finishing this basement, but it actually was finished when we bought the house, but there was mold and stuff and we had to take everything down. So I have no idea when we're going to actually be doing that. So for now, I think the shelf is a good idea for like a wall in between to kind of separate my studio space from the rest of the basement. I think those other shelves could do that there. So that's probably what I'm going to do there. Now, also, then some of this stuff is going to go over there rather than here. Because that's going to be more of a, like things like this, for instance. So this is all my stain, like brushes and tools. There's a little bit extra stuff in here, but that kind of stuff would go over there because I'm going to be working on that in my studio. And this is more like storage, for my vendor events and my products that are done, or that even though that probably would be a good thing to be on the other shelves too, but if we're using it half and half, then I might not have room for that stuff anyway. So That's what I'm thinking so far. But now I'm like, oh, what do I put on here? I mean, I can just do it temporarily and we can move things later. But trying to figure out what's going to work, you know? Right now, I think I'm just going to load up the shelves and not really have a rhyme or reason so much to them. This is all. Stuff. These are paintbrushes in here. I want that here. Well, depends where I put my paint. Because I also have our house like paint back here, and I want to move that out. But then, do I want that here, or do I want that over there eventually? There's just so much, you know? So, like I said, for now, I should just fill these up, move things around as time goes on here. Neat stuff here, I guess. And then this is like unfinished projects, blanks here. I guess, and this, no, this is another painting. What should I do with my finished projects? Up there? Maybe, because I want to put my vendor stuff there too. I have another shelf coming. I'm wondering if I should just put pause on this project today so far. Because I'm already getting like, oh no, what am I going to do? I'm dropping stuff all over the place. This is finished. This is unfinished. So, well, partially finished or unfinished stuff that I need to find space for. Proper space for. So, I just want to get like a walkway. So I'm putting some stuff up here, but then tomorrow we're going to work on this more. I just wanted to get down here and get the shelves where they're supposed to be and try to figure that out at the very least today. So, I'll let that off the washer go here too. But I also have more time tomorrow. Like today I only have like an hour. Tomorrow I have like several hours to work on stuff. So that's why I'm like, should I even start? I don't know. Oh, I don't want to make too much of a mess here. I want to be able to get in here. Somewhere over here for now. I can get back in that area because that's our pantry back there, like our overflow pantry. This is in this category. Now it's like in the way, so I'm gonna put it down here for now. I'm using face needle here. This is ornaments. This is all stuff I think I'm going to use by the other area. That should be fine. Leave it in there. But I need to clean the stuff off the washer now. I put over it. Yeah, so I think now that, because this is something, you know, you have your plan ahead of time, but then there's things you don't think about. You're like, well, let's adapt, you know. So, first of all, I'm going to find a tape measure if I can. I'm glad this one's as far as normal is because the fact it's not. So these are like 36 inches wide. So if I put another one here, it would go like here. Up this far, and the electrical things, they're probably going to come out a little further. It's going to be a little tight getting back here to the pantry. Especially if you can't see, but I have a bag full of plastic bags. I'm going to have to move that. because you won't be able to get back there otherwise. Go through another shelf. And I can't move the shelves down more because there's a light switch right when you come down right there at the end. So can't move them down any further that way. So if I put the other one here, which I do want to do, they're the same size and they're the only ones that are the same size. There's only 3 of those. And it's going to be a little tight getting back there, but once I move that, it won't be as bad. It's just a little, used to be a little more open, but now it's going to be not so open, but that's fine. We can deal with that. As long as I can, get things in and out, even because I have like my small appliances back there too, the crock pots and stuff, so if I can pull those out and get those through this space, it's kind of a pain, but I think it'll be okay. So, again, 36. Here, out a little bit. Yeah, it'll be fine. As long as we keep this clear here, should be anyway. So, but like I said, let me move you over there and show you what I'm talking about. So again, this is the studio area. So like from here, because we have a little like a weird kind of corner here. I'm thinking of putting actually. I think those are the bigger ones are a little wider. 36 or 48. I was thinking putting one there, it's just our health stuff, and then the rest of them on the line here. I can see how one is. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ish, maybe 5. I think there's 5, like I said. This right here, so that like this half, some of the shelves can be towards this way for me on this side, and that's even home storage. Because I think eventually you want to do like a rec area, like TV stuff. So I'm thinking something like that. But then I have more storage space over here, not just for me shelves. So I would probably put more of the stuff I use more often, like and stuff like that would be there. And like the regular paint that I have, like acrylic paint, be there. And this is more the tools that I don't use as often, vendor stuff that I take to my vendor events, stuff that I have ready made, like stuff that I'm ready to sell or whatever too. Like even if someone buys online from my shop, I could come down here and just grab it off the shelf and then send it out or whatever. Like, and I don't know if I want that there or if I want that on these shelves. These are going to be bigger too. So that might be another option for what goes here. At least as far as like the product goes, like the stuff that's done. But then again, I might rather have the unfinished stuff here. Because I can just grab it, work on it. It's a lot easier than going all the way around here. I don't know. Now I've got all these shelves and I'm thinking like what's going to go where, I just start thinking of categories. So, more complicated than I thought it was going to be, I guess. But, that's it. We'll be with it. So, like I said, I'm going to work on this more tomorrow. I don't have much time today anyway, like I said. So, we'll have a few hours tomorrow to work on this. So, hopefully my brain will be a little more, ready to deal with this kind of stuff. Because today, we were moving a bunch of stuff and I'm kind of exhausted. So, I figured I had some time. Maybe I'll do this, but I'm good for now. I'm good for today. Let's work on more of this tomorrow. How's that sound? Good? Okay, see you tomorrow. All right, hello again. It is now Tuesday, January 27th. Took a few days, where I didn't do anything, at least down here. I have an excuse for yesterday, though. Yesterday, the 26th, was my wedding anniversary with my husband, so, I had my excuse that day. Sunday, I, could have done some stuff. I was partially lazy, but I was also getting some home stuff done instead, which normally is what I should do on Sundays anyway. But I'm going to continue the project now here. This video, obviously, I was thinking about making one come out Tuesday. That's why I wanted to work Sunday and Monday on this, but we're just going to have it come out Thursday, and you already know that. So, what I'm going to do is because we're going to be bringing another one of these shelves, at least I think, this Saturday. I thought it would be easier if I take all this stuff off. I know there isn't that much stuff on there. And then move this to the other side so that when we bring the new one, we can just slide it in here. We don't have to bring it all the way around, you know. So, plus it'll help me figure out how much space it's going to take up exactly. And I can figure out that outlet there because it's going to have to come out from the wall a little bit. So I'm going to have to bring that one out too and that one. So, but with that being the case, I can maybe shove some stuff behind there to store as well, like some of my bigger stuff. But anyway, so I have to move this stuff first. You can't really see much of it. There's a pile over there that's in the way, so I'm gonna move that over here. In fact, I think I'm gonna go get my wagon from upstairs because it's probably a good use of that now today when I'm moving stuff around the basement. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna move this over here and then start filling those shelves for now. It's starting to kind of make sense of where things are going to go. You know, I don't really know. It's not going to be finalized right now because I'm going to have another shelf here too, again. So, and then I'm also going to have, I think, those other shelves there. I'm not sure if we're bringing any of those this next weekend coming up. Might be the next week. Depends on if I can get a big one and a small one in my van. Might be able to. We'll see. I'd rather get the small one for sure, so we can get this done. But anyway, because those are all going to be the bigger ones over there. But it's a matter of like what goes there and what goes here, you know, and then even here, like what goes where on these shelves. Like I want to have, like, you know, I want it to be organized. I want it to be kind of categorized, you know. But I don't have that like figured out right now. So right now, I just want to get everything off the floor and onto the shelves, and then I'll start rearranging and start making sense of it. And then start thinking about what's going to go over there. Because some of the stuff that's in this area that I showed you earlier, my studio area, is going to go on those shelves. And another thing I think I might do on this video is, if you remember in the studio area, I didn't really show you really that closely, but you'll see it eventually. I have some like drawer units, an Alex drawer unit from IKEA that are basically empty now because I used to have my Cricut stuff in there. I had a bigger Cricut. I ended up selling that and selling all the stuff I had with it. So most of those are empty now. So now I have to put stuff in there too. So we're going to figure that out maybe at the end of this video. Otherwise it might be on the next one. But anyway, so I'm probably going to be speeding things up and just doing a voiceover after this because it's already loud. The furnace is already started. I'm going to be starting the washer again. And even when I try to cut out the sound of the washer, then you can't really hear me when I'm speaking anyway. So I'm just going to play some music, get this done, you know, and then I'm going to speed it up for the video and do a voiceover. Anyway, let's get started. All right, so that's my wagon that I brought down. I don't think I mentioned on this channel before, but I always get questions about this wagon, like in person at my events. Short answer is I found it on Amazon. There's a bunch that are like this. They're like double-decker. I'd have to look at the exact brand of mine. I forget what it's called. And real quick, this is me just testing the entrance to the pantry back there. But actually, this is something that I thought about doing too. We're going to do some planning exercises at the end of this video. But something that I should have put on that list that I was talking about, something that I want to make is a list that I can give out to fellow vendors of my stuff. Because I do have an Amazon storefront that I could use, I guess, in that regard. Yeah, I do it online, but like I can do it in person as well, because I always get questions about this wagon, and there's been a few other things that people are like, "Ooh, I really like that. Where'd you get that?" You know. So I think it'd be a good idea to make a list to give out to fellow vendors if they're interested in like the stuff I have. That's just something I figured I'd add since it's kind of relevant to the end of this video. All right, so I moved the shelf over here. The new one's gonna go next to this one. You can't see it right now, but you saw it earlier. It's a hole. So it should fit there because I brought the other one over. So they should all be where they're supposed to be, at least this way. Kind of organized, but not really. I'm thinking not all of this is true right now, but this is going to be like my vendor stuff, including stuff that's done. So that's this shelf right here. This is stuff that's done that I intend to sell at some point. I'm going to have
On the bottom, I have some stuff for like display and my t-shirt bags that I had earlier. I have a few hickeys over here that would be like stuff I would bring to me for work events. And then this is all fabric stuff. That's probably not staying here. I mean, it's not staying on this shelf anyway. It doesn't belong on this shelf. This is supposed to be the vendor stuff. I can't decide if that's going to go over at those shelves or if it's going to come at one of these yet. This is stuff that's either blank completely. You can't see it anyway. Let me bring you up a little. This is stuff that's either blank or stuff that I was going to redo or continue doing. That's also here, but I put this up here because it's different. They fit better up here, basically. But at some point, those are all going to be kind of in the same area. And that's also another thing that I'm not sure if it's going to stay over here or if it's going to go on those bigger shelves because I'm going to be working on it in that room. Like, it's a question of what do I want to come here and get. Like, I want this to be more like vendor stuff or finished stuff over here, or stuff like tools that I don't use as often, I think, is what I want over here versus over there on those shelves. But for now, you know, this is at least picked up a little. I got the stuff that was on the counter thing that I moved over here as well. So now I'm going to move over to the studio part and work on some of the stuff there, trying to figure out what's going there. So we're going to do that. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll do a planning exercise on this video, finally, like I said, we've been doing. Because I want to start doing that anyway. I mean, I've been kind of doing it, but now I haven't like got into gear yet, so I really want to start doing that. So, probably what we're going to do at the end of this video. We'll see. I'm trying. Alright, let's continue then. Alright, so I had a change of plans, actually. I said I was going to come over here to this area and work on these drawers. I'm going to show you them in a minute. But I think it's probably not a good idea to do that yet until I have those shelves that are going to be over here in this section. So I should wait on that. I was trying to get it, you know, maybe I could get something done early, but I don't think so. So, I didn't do that, or I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to show you, you know, what I mean and kind of the stuff that's going to go in there. Something I did do and I didn't film, and you're welcome. There was a cat litter box down here. Now, again, if you haven't been watching recently on my channel, the end of last year, 2025, December, like, you know, right before Christmas, our cat that we had to take him in to get euthanized because he was old and his problems were getting to be too much for, you know, him as well, not just us. But, you know, he had trouble breathing and stuff. So we put him down, but the litter box I had down here in the basement, I hadn't cleaned up yet. I did the one upstairs, and he didn't really use that one down in the basement as much. Like, there was a little bit in there, and the last time I cleaned it was probably a month before he went. But, you know, he mostly stayed upstairs because he had a hard time going up and down the stairs now because he was older. So, but the litter box was sitting there still all this time. I finally took care of it. So, it's not there anymore. You probably could see it in a couple previous videos when we were working down here, but you know, I was busy doing other things, so I didn't clean it. So, and I was all, it's a little emotional too, so I didn't take care of it, but I did it today. So that's finally done. So that was to the side of kind of my area here. Plus now we have more room to put stuff that we have coming in here. So, well, I mean, the shelves are going to be there anyway. So, what I want to show you is the drawers over here and give you kind of an idea of what I'm going to put in there. So let's do that. It's a very tight space back here, so bear with me. But anyway, these are the drawers. So most of them are empty right now. This was for my Cricut tools, because that's originally what I had in there. I think I said that earlier. But anyway, this drawer I put in the bottom upside down when I was putting it together, so that was my fault. But anyway, these are mostly empty. This and the one on the bottom here both have those cardboard tubes from toilet paper and paper towels. You know, in case I need them. I've been keeping them. There might be a use for them. I'll keep them for now. I'm in the shadow. I shouldn't do that, or I'm making a shadow. But the rest of these are pretty much empty. There is chipboard in one of them. I think it's this one. No, maybe the next one. Yeah.
So this is just very thick, you know, cardboard. It's chipboard. I actually used it for my wedding back in 2019 to make my table numbers with my original, my Cricut Maker that I had. That one's empty down there. And I don't have a Cricut Maker anymore, so I can't cut it that way. But, you know, I can use it for other stuff. So I'm keeping it for now, and I'm going to keep it in there because it's probably going to be where it goes. Because I'm going to have some paper down here. Like, for instance, I do have like a graph paper thing here that I can put probably in these drawers. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't know which drawer, but that kind of stuff. And then, like, I think some of my sewing stuff's going to go in there. Like, I don't think I'm going to do this, but I'm considering putting my paint markers, but I think those are just going to go on the shelf. Or a shelf, or maybe even like on top of here. I don't know. Because all this stuff, I think I mentioned this, right? All this stuff is going over there on that shelf that's meant for vendor stuff, because that's what all up there. So it doesn't really make sense to put my paint markers in there. But other tools, like I have my scrapers and stuff, like I'm probably going to separate these and put one down here and one upstairs, and you know, but for right now that's where those are. Maybe like these like random writing tools will probably go in one. It's you know, I'm still like working through all my piles and stuff, but it's mainly for like smaller tools that I don't want to get lost, you know, that I would use in this area. That's going to go in there, and like, you know, certain types of paper as well, like that. I mean, there isn't, you know, the drawers aren't that big anyway, so it's not like they can fit much more than that anyway. So I think that's what's going to go in there. Again, I don't want to do it now because like some of the stuff's going to go on the shelves and some of it's going to go here, and there's probably stuff elsewhere that needs to go in here in the house that I need to bring down, you know, because I still have stuff technically in my office that technically does go down here, and I didn't bring it down yet. So I got all that going on. So I got, you know, I'm trying to organize the 2, 3, arguably 4 areas that I have stuff in and where it's going to go, you know. I mean, like this is an area, but I was counting the shelves over here as the arguably one, like the ones next to, they're going to go here as another area, even though they're technically part of this area, kind of, because all that stuff's going to be used over here. Also, did I mention this when I was talking earlier? I'm not sure, but you see I have all these bottles here, I have wood all over the place. Like I have so many blank things that need to get painted. That's a lot. What's going to go on those big shelves over here, I think. Like that's going to be mainly that, I think. So I do have some of that over there, and that's going to be coming over here eventually when I get those shelves here. I don't know when that's going to be. It might be a few weeks. So, you know, I think that's mainly what's going to be over on those shelves, at least as far as from this area. Like I said, we might use part of the shelves for that area as well, like our home stuff. But we'll see how much room I have left, I guess. But I think this is all I'm going to do as far as like organizing, cleaning down here until I get a new shelf. So, I mean, I might go through a few of the smaller like buckets or something. We'll see. But I am going to do now on the video, I'm going to do a planning exercise upstairs where it's a little cleaner. So let's go up there. Hello, it is Wednesday, right? Yeah, January 28th. Figured I'd close out this video with a quick little planning exercise and kind of talk about what I've been doing as far as that goes. Not that I've done that much, but I have done a little bit. And we're going to do something together, but I'm going to do more of that in a future video as well. So the other thing, well, what I'm going to do today is, I showed this in a different video recently, or a couple actually. I have these, just like, they're not even that complicated, but like the weeks, you know, and I can put the date up here, which week it is. And I'm going to do that for next week. That's when I'm going to start actually trying to like make to-do lists for each day, like, and not necessarily have to be set in stone. That's why I'm using a pencil. But, you know, I want to start getting back on track and actually doing stuff, you know, next week. So we're going to work on next week's, maybe not the whole thing, but like at least the first couple of days for sure. And maybe a few things the rest of the week, but I'm not going to figure out everything I'm going to do that day. But I have that. So we're gonna do that together. My weekly one that we're gonna do, and then I also have, I had shown some of this before in another video. I was just kind of jotting things down in different categories. Like this is my vendor events. We're gonna get to this. I have a list that I was making this morning, and I'm gonna make myself a little planner for vendor events. So this is all stuff that's gonna go on there. So there's that. This is just me sketching out like a possible booth, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this exactly, but we'll see. In fact, one of the things I want to do too, which I'm not gonna do on camera, I don't think, but I want to make like blank, larger versions of like a grid that I can use to plan out different layouts like for different events. So I'm going to have a couple copies made. Most of the events I do are 10 by 10, not all of them. In fact, one of the ones I'm doing is technically 10 by 12 instead of 10 by 10. So the Fall at the Fairgrounds one, I have more space than normal. So I'm going to make a 10 by 12 one as well. And then if I have any other events, this year I don't so far, but last year I had a bunch of different like sizes and stuff. So if I ever do that, then I can just kind of adjust and make one for that. But I want to do that for every event ahead of time. Have myself, even though it might change when I get there a little bit, but I want to have my plan out. Like, okay, here's the plan, even, especially if my husband is going to help me, because then it's like, okay, here's the visual of what I want to do. Now you know. Have all that planned ahead of time. But anyway, we're gonna get there. This was just a list of, I don't even know if this is happening this year, because I had gotten the sewing machine. I talked about this a few episodes ago, and I want to make myself like a proper like workspace for that. But I'm probably just going to use a folding table for now, because I don't think that's happening this year. Maybe next year. I mean, it's probably a good thing too, because then I'll like really know what I want, because right now I'm very beginner, so I don't even know. I'm kind of looking at other people's setups and stuff like that, and that makes sense, I could do that, but I don't know for sure yet. So it's probably a good idea not to do that this year anyway. So that'll probably be a next year thing. But anyway, I had started figuring out like what things go in the office, and then the stuff in the basement. I had that kind of written out before I even started organizing, which I haven't really checked, but yeah, it's pretty much the same. But that was me trying to figure out like what activities are going to happen up here and what are going to happen downstairs. Then I had shown this in another video. This is like my general weekly schedule, which will kind of help when I'm planning out the next week, even though I'm not quite on this yet, and it doesn't necessarily have to like stick to this. It's just a good idea. Yeah, I could probably use the rest of this paper for something else. I had started making a to-do list for a certain day that's passed already. I have a list of videos, which I am going to go through today, maybe on this video, I'm not sure. But this is like list of things that I could do for main videos on my main channel. And then I also have my other channels that I want to start, like ideas for that, but I'm not ready to start those yet. And then the channel that I'm like completely brand new this year, I need to start like making my logo and stuff for that and whatnot, and again video ideas for that, which was my stitching channel, like embroidery and possibly sewing things later. But I'm doing embroidery stuff right now, and maybe even like crochet and stuff like that, but I haven't learned that yet. So but there's room for that on there if I want to do that. Then okay, this is, which I'm probably not doing this year yet, but we'll see. It is in my goal list, but I don't know if it's happening. I talked about this in other videos. I want to do a wedding event, because again, I do wedding signage and stuff like that, and I have very hard time finding clients for that. Everyone I have done something for has been a friend or a family member. So, and then I don't get any like, even though they like it and they tell other people, I love, she made my signs and they're beautiful or whatever. No one, because everyone wants to do their own stuff, so that's a whole other thing. But anyway, I want to get into a wedding event. I've talked about that on this channel, and I started kind of planning out like how would I do that, like how would I design a booth and whatnot. So that's what that one was. This is the pegboards, which I don't have yet. I might start taking those down this Saturday and bringing them over, depending on if there's room, especially if I have both shelves that I'm bringing over. Did I mention that earlier? because I was thinking it, I don't know if I said it out loud, this Saturday, we're bringing over at least the smaller shelf that goes along with the ones that I just showed you in the basement. But I might want to bring in a larger one if we can fit both in my van. So one large one and one small one possibly. Otherwise it might just be one small one. And then every week after this, it'll probably be one large one, because I don't think I can get too large in my car, my van. So, but anyway, if I have room for the pegboard that I want to cut down from the wall, not cut down, take down with a drill. Well, I am going to probably cut it at some point too, but not there. So, like in theory, there's room for, because there's two that are 4 foot by 4 foot, like squares. And then there's another big one, which I might take. But the two smaller ones I definitely want. So, but anyway, I want to make myself, I had mentioned this on other videos, I want to make myself something portable and relatively easy to bring, hopefully, to my events next year. And even stuff I can use, like, you know, to display stuff here. I have more room to do that on this, so that's something I want to do. And then I probably will, at that point, get rid of the pegboard thing that I have, the divider thing that I have, again, because I had a smaller one the year before and I sold it. And then I got this bigger one because I needed something for my indoor events to hang my door hangers especially on, but other stuff too. And I used it last year and it was fine, but it was a pain. Like it's awkward to carry. It is kind of heavy. It's not that heavy, but like it's for me carrying it sometimes all the way to my car, even though it does fit on the cart. And, you know, I started doing that, but it's still a pain when I take it on the cart. You know, I'd rather have something that's exactly what I need, you know, that was just good enough for now. So I'm probably gonna end up selling that one too. Basically is what I'm saying, but not until I make my other ones. So I might still use that this year if I don't finish the, you know, the other ones. But anyway, all right, so that was the last list I had made up to today. Now this is what I made today. So I started thinking of this stuff because, again, right now vendor event is the only thing that's on my schedule for next year, even though I want to do more than that. So I'm going to start working on that. My first one is until May. I talked about maybe doing one in April. I think I'm going to cancel. I didn't actually apply technically for that one, so I'm just not going to do it. I don't think. It was a smaller one, and it was before I knew I got into the May one. And I'm like, it's. The more I think about it, I'm like, nah. And it was cheap to, like, it's still technically, I think it was till the end of January, which I technically have a few more days. The booth fee was only going to be $15 because it was half off until January 31st, I think it was. So, I mean, that would have been easy to get my money back, I think. But then again, is it? Like, because it's at like a senior living place. And apparently they've been doing this for a few years. And, you know, I caught wind of it and I'm like, well, that's nearby. And it's, you know, a cheaper event. And I want to start filling my schedule. So I had inquired about it, but I don't think I'm going to do it. So that would have been in April. So I don't think I'm starting until May. Unless I find something I, you know, deem worthy before that. Like a smaller one. But I'm in at least until October. I'm in, well, yeah, I'll say that. Until October, I'm in like the bigger ones that I wanted to get into this year. And then I could maybe fill that in with some smaller ones. But I don't want to, like, I went kind of crazy last year because I was experimenting with different things. I don't want to do what I did last year where I did like, I mean, I didn't even do that many, but I did a lot. Hold on. So last year I started with the July 3rd and 4th and 5th with my city, like their festival, their July 4th festival. It's a multi-day event. I don't know if I know they're doing the July 4th event again. I don't know if they're doing the small business market thing that they did last year again. I haven't heard about that yet, but I didn't hear about it until March last year, I think, maybe even the end of February. So I don't know. And I'm still like kind of like on the fence of whether I'm going to do it. I'm most likely would like to, but it depends on what the parameters are, because I was actually reviewing my old videos in preparation for the video I want to do on my channel, which is like a recap of all my events from last year. And I was reminded about the bad things that happened. Not that I forgot them, but it's kind of like here, oh yeah, that's right, that happened. But it was their first year, maybe it would be okay, So I haven't made my mind up about that yet. So that might happen in July, and that would be, because I have one in July. That would be actually, this is the other thing, it would be the weekend before that one. So I would have 2 weekends in a row of summer outdoor events, one of them being a multi-day thing, and then the other one being far away, not far away, but far enough. So that would be a lot to deal with in July. I'm not sure if I mean, with everything else being spread out, maybe it would be okay, because I'm not doing one like every weekend. And my next one would be like a little over, like 5 weeks later right now. And I don't have any in June right now. So I'd have the May one, June off, and then the 2 big ones in July, if I do this one. And then one in August. And then I have September off right now too. And then I have one in October. So that would be kind of manageable. Like, it's not that many. And just, it would be intense for those weeks, but I think I would be able, like, I have enough recovery time after, So I think I'll do it. I'm not sure, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so this list, I'm making a planning form for events. So I kind of mentioned that earlier in the video, but I wrote down exactly what I want to be on it and stuff, like name of the event, date, time, address, event organizer, how much is the fee, did I pay it already, description of the event and info, setup time and rules of setup. Have that all like planned out ahead of time where I don't have to keep like finding the email or whatever, And then this is where I was going to make, so most of my floor plans for these events are just my 10 by 10 tent. So I plan on making the 10 by 10 grid, and then the one has the 10 by 12. So I'm going to make a 10 by 12 grid for that one. And then having that ready so that I could plan it out and then have it like, okay, this is my final, at least beforehand, my final thing. It might change when I get there because there's things that happen that I don't anticipate or whatever. But, at least I'll have my plan ahead of time written down. Here it is. Let's set the tent up this way. Let's make sure it works, So that ahead of time. So floor plan for booth. Then I'm going to have a packing list, which means like, well, let me mention the other one first. I'm going to have a product list. So a list of what I'm bringing with me as far as products, like a list that I can have at my checkout stand. Like as people buy stuff, yes, I'm going to do it electronically on Square with my phone, unless I have a terminal by then, which hopefully I will, but those are expensive. But anyway, I'll have my own like written like record. Okay, yeah, this was sold. Check it off, of the event. That's what I want to do there with products. Then my packing list, which I started talking about, is everything but the products, basically. Like, what am I bringing with me? My canopy, my 6-foot table, my 4-foot table, my pegboards, and whatever else, What am I bringing with me? Like, and then I can check as I put it in, the car. Okay, got that, got that, So, again, all of that planned ahead of time, written down, so it doesn't have to all be up here, I can have it written down. So, and things got so crazy last year that it was hard for me. Like, I kind of made lists sometimes for my events, but like, it was hard to keep up because there's like, okay, there's another event next week already. Like, I don't have time, so it's another thing where I'm like, okay, these are more spread out. This is good. So anyway, that's something I want to make. I'm probably going to work on that today, but not on video. I'll probably show you either at the end of this video if it's done. I might put it in with a voiceover, or I will show you on the next video, that kind of stuff, and maybe the rest of the stuff if I make it too. So I talked about making the 10 by 10 grid, 10 by 12 grid. I want to make and this is something that would probably stay downstairs with my products, but I want to make myself kind of a binder with my inventory of, like, first of all, and this would be year by year, so like, even if something is made and sold and whatnot, that's going to be in the book. So, like, basically every, like, whatever the material, like, most of my stuff is wood, but I do other things too, and I plan on doing other things. But I'm gonna have, like, okay, this is what I have as far as, like, blanks. What am I going to do with this? What do I plan on doing with it? And then get to the point where, okay, it's made. Now, did it sell or not? You know, and have, like, a binder with kind of my reference for the year. And that's good too for, like, tax purposes too. So you can, again, if I get audited or something, like, I can show, yes, okay, I made this, I sold this, you know, and this is where that transaction came from, and, you know, and these are the things I haven't sold, and this is how much it cost me to make them and stuff like that. So that's what I plan on doing there, and that'll be like a binder, like a very, like, lots of lists in there. That'll be downstairs. And this was kind of the same thing, unfinished blanks and products that I'm going to make with them. Then I want to make I do kind of have this to some extent, but it's not all together. Like, phrases or quotes or whatever else I want to put on signs, like a rolling list of, and also stuff that I've sold well. Okay, I'm going to keep making that one because it keeps selling, you know. So that I want to make. And then I also have a wish list for my vendor booth displays and whatnot, what I want, and keep that. And, you know, okay, I have enough money for this, or it's on sale, ooh, I'll get it now, you know, that kind of thing. So also, again, getting rid of stuff that I don't use anymore, like selling it, or maybe if I want to just give it away. Probably not. I'm probably gonna sell it. Like stuff like the pegboard. Once I get my new pegboard, I sold my old one on Facebook Marketplace. And surprisingly, the transaction went pretty well. I mean, I did have a few people that were kind of iffy about it, but the one person that I did sell it to, she paid full price for it and sent her husband to get it. Worked out great. Hope that happens again next time. But anyway, so that, and if I can't use something else, like some kind of organizational tool somewhere else in the house, then I'm going to sell it. So that kind of stuff. But anyway, I also have my goal tracker on here because I had shared my goals with you. I want to make, like, a tracker for some of them that I can kind of, like, mark off as time goes on. So that's something I'm going to be working on soon too, like today, tomorrow-ish. Again, I will show you when they're done, or sometimes I might show you while I'm making them, and not even necessarily these, but there'd be other things I'm going to be making throughout the year, you know, that I will show you more on this channel. It's just, I'm kind of running out of space on this video. So now let's do the one thing I was going to do with you. Let's do my next week. Okay, let's do that. All right, I had to move you on the other side so you could see a little better. So Monday is February 2nd, Groundhog Day. So I'm gonna fill these in with the date. Whoops. It's not perfect. Now what are we gonna do? Okay. Okay. So Wednesday is the day that I want my my vendor recap video to go on my main channel. So I want to write that down as being the day that comes out. So put SD for Shrush Design, vendor event recap video. Yes, so that's going to come out on my, I guess I could put YouTube. All right, so that's what's happening that day, so we have to prepare for that. Now I also have, because this is Wednesday that I'm filming this, the previous week, I have I'm not quite sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but it's probably going to be more organizational stuff. Although something I need to do that I have been kind of working on, but I need to like buckle down and do, is get myself ready for this video. So like, and I'm probably going to be doing that before this, sometime the end of this week and the weekend. Plus, so like I said, Saturday we go down and we are, cleaning out my in-laws' house. And that's when I'm probably going to get the shelves. So by Sunday, the next video on here, we're going to be doing some more of that kind of stuff. So that's going to be, because that's going to come out here. So I should probably write that down. Business Vlogs, SDBV. And that would be vlog number 20 or 21. Which one is this? This is 19, I think. So 20. Vlog 20. So I'm not having one come out on Saturday because I'm not going to have anything to put on there really. I don't think. So again, we're not quite on our schedule yet, but we're getting there. But anyway, that's going to include YouTube, new shelf, and more planning is what's going to be on there. I forgot an N. Okay. But that's going to be filmed mostly on Sunday, but I might do some planning exercises before that on like Thursday, tomorrow or Friday of, again, the previous week. And then Monday I want to reserve for filming this video. So I want to prepare for the filming because that's going to be a more intense video. Like this is just kind of off the cuff, that's what it's meant to be. It's a vlog, but that I want to be a more like, and I want it to not, because I tend to ramble, I don't want it to be like, I don't want it to be too long. So I want to get like all the facts in there, so I need to really prepare for that. So this is going to be like the major part of this day is filming. I keep forgetting letters. Filming SD recap. I'm just going to put recap video. Like most of the day is going to be that. And I should say editing too. Well, the editing will take place Monday and Tuesday and be ready for Wednesday, hopefully. So that's that. And like I said, so Thursday, Friday, part of Saturday, because I'll have Saturday night probably, and maybe part of Sunday as well, I want to prepare for that video. That might be something I want to do on the next video, is maybe that as a planning exercise where I have my video planner sheets. We'll work on that. I don't have any here, do I? This is just weekly, right? Yeah. So that might be something we do on the next video. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it might be. Because it's going to take place at the same time, so I might as well film it, right? So, and then, editing that video as well. And then probably here, if that's not done, so okay. SD, recap, video. And then I'm going to put like here as well. Even though I'll probably take more time than that. Not that this is like indicative of time necessarily, but I'm kind of trying to like, okay, this is going to take up most of the day, So. And then, like I said, we don't have this on here, but the time before this is going to be preparing for that, and getting all that ready so that it won't take that much time filming or editing, So, got to work on that the next couple of days. But I want to get, this is where I want to start getting like this going. Now, the other thing I was going to do, so probably not going to do this on camera, like I said, but I want to take that list of videos that I have for that channel, and I want to start planning out where, like, what order they're going to go in and stuff like that. Now I have 2 more vendor videos that were actually skipped. They're actually, because I have, this is technically episode 13 or 14 in that series. I missed 5 and 6. I had skipped them. And I said, you know what, I'll just do them afterwards, after all this is done. So it didn't work out the way I wanted to, because my original, like, this series, the vendor event thing that I was doing on that channel, was supposed to be 6 episodes long. Not only do I have, like, again, I don't remember what number I'm at, like 12 or 13 already, but episode 2, which was about my July 4th event, was 3 episodes long. There was 2A, 2B, and 2C. So I already have more there too. It was a way longer than I thought it was going to be. But also, a lot of that kind of stuff is now on this channel where I ramble about, like, things. Like, that was supposed to be more, like, cut and dry, and that didn't happen. So that's why it turned out to be so long, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so Monday I want to get, if I have, like, anything more to film, if for some reason I don't get it done on Monday, then I can, do some filming on Tuesday. So I'm going to put a little square here, say any filming for this video that wasn't finished. / maybe if there's any voiceover work that I need to do for that video. I'm not sure yet. It might be just everything talking to me, like talking to the camera, which would be nice because voiceovers take more time. So, but that's also part of editing too. So, but I'm giving myself some space to do that if I have to. Now, another thing that I told you I wanted to do, I don't think on this video, but like over here, you're here on my desk over here, but like on this kind of wall next to me, again, if you've seen my previous videos, there is a chalk, paint area of my wall that I use to make chalk murals. And I want to get a bank of those done and ready to go in case I need a video to put out to keep me on my schedule, because YouTube punishes you if you don't keep, uploading at the same time, which is part of my problem, but also it was happening before that happened, where I stopped kind of doing everything on time. YouTube suppressed me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I talked about that before. But anyway, so I want to have not only those, but that's an option to have, like, kind of in the bank. Like, I can make a bunch of those, like, where I make a chalk mural, and I can have that video come out. And even sometimes it'll be scheduled to come out. Like, I haven't done one of these in a while, I'll schedule it to come out. But it's more of, like, something that I can put out whenever. Like, it's not really something that's, like, timely or, something like that. It's more like, this can come out whenever, whenever I need something to come out, or maybe I get sick or something, So that's what those are for. And like I said, they're not all, like, every time you would see one on the channel, not necessarily as like, I was lazy this week, or I was sick, or, things didn't work out. It could be that I scheduled that video to come out that time, but it also could be that it's a banked video. So I want to start filming as many of those as possible and get those banked up. It's edited and ready. So I could, in theory, do that Tuesday, or I could do it Wednesday. Now, technically, if I wanted to get back on track with this channel, like where I'm doing my Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday and or Sunday videos, I have like that kind of stuff going on too, so I might not have time to film that then, because I'm going to be filming stuff for this. But it's a question of, do I want to take the leap and do that next week and have this be on my regular channel again? But also, am I going to have stuff to film for that time? Because this video is going to be about the new shelf that I have coming in, and then more planning. What could I possibly talk about for this video, Like, I'm filming and editing videos. Do you want a video about how I edit videos? Because I do want to do that at some point, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it next week. So it might not be, again, I might be skipping Thursday and then maybe have the video come out Saturday, the next vlog video. Because right now, things, like, I'm trying to get back into the schedule, and I might not have anything to come out on Thursday, because I'm going to be spending all of Monday filming this video, So, and I don't know, like, that's not the type of video that I have, like, behind the scenes stuff for, Like, for instance, when I was doing my Halloween window, when I started this channel, it's one of the first things I did on here. Like, I had my more like polished, more polished, not quite polished video that I had for my main channel, but then I had all the behind the scenes stuff on here when I was filming that. So this isn't something that's going to have that though. This is, I guess I could maybe do a behind the scenes of chalk mural stuff. I maybe could do that for a Thursday video, like quotes that I'm planning on doing and how I'm going to do it, and you know, maybe even the start of me doing it on this channel for Thursday. I could maybe do that if I have time. And also, when do I want to do that? Maybe Wednesday, because I got some room here. I think I do. Maybe doing the quote part here and then filming the video here. Because that's just the video coming out. This, I might be done filming, so I won't have that. I might have a little voiceover. It depends on how my editing goes as well. But I could have time here, next Tuesday, to start working on my chalk murals and the quotes I want to do and start sketching them out and planning them out ahead of time. That could be a video on this channel. And I could do that Thursday. Then we would be back on schedule here. How's that sound? Let's do that. Now, obviously, this could change. I'm doing it in pencil. But I'm going to try behind the scenes chalk mural planning. Okay, let's do that for vlog 21. So then SDBV filming for chalk mural video. And then I'll do SD and BV for chalk mural 1. Here. So that'll be like longer. That's what I'll do on Wednesday. And then quotes, etc. So that and then that'll be for our Thursday video. Like you get most of it here and then a little bit here for that video. So, and then I got, you know, editing and stuff that I have to do. But, you know, that's always there. So, but then we're thinking, I would also like to start getting my Procreate videos done for that channel, but I don't think I'm going to quite be able to do that next week. Plus, right now, my Apple Pencil, it's somewhere. I keep seeing it when I don't need it. And now that I'm like, oh, where was that? Like it's somewhere, like somewhere that I haven't touched. Like it wasn't in here and it wasn't downstairs. It shouldn't really be downstairs anyway, but it's somewhere and I don't know where it is right now. So I can't film Procreate videos if I don't have my Apple Pencil. So I have to find that first. Maybe I'll find it this week. But even if I do, I'm not sure. I mean, I could maybe film it Thursday. And then those videos are supposed to come out Friday. So I could possibly do that. I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm going to leave it blank. And maybe have a Procreate video come out Friday. But otherwise, so the next vlog video that we're doing would come out on Saturday. I really only do Sundays if I have an event on Saturdays, so it should come out Saturday, and that would be 22. But what will we do on that vlog? I mean, it could just need more planning stuff, just not for like a particular video, just more, well, first of all, this, like we can start planning the next week and stuff like that, but like I should be, like I don't, depending on whether I get 1 or 2 shelves this Saturday, like I should be done by Tuesday. So I'm not going to have any more shelves to do then. So, and I won't have it for this one either because I'm getting it Saturday, the next one. So it would be more planning like this. not necessarily like the week. I mean, we would do the week too, but like something else also. So I'm just gonna put planning right now. But that's what we're gonna be, you know, in general doing there. And it also depends on what videos I plan to do for this, because the ones I plan to do are the 5 and 6 that I skipped, which are my product and displays videos, but I do need to start preparing for those too. And then my general tips videos, which both of those are, part of the reason I skipped them is because they are more intense than the other ones I was making. Like I made one about my vending machine, and that one was mostly filmed by the time I even started making videos again on that channel. So that one was easy. And then I did my layout video like while I was planning for the event. That was already done. Like I just needed to edit it a little bit before I put it out. So these two were ones that weren't done along the way, and I had to do in addition to everything else. And they're also more like information packed, you know? So that's why I kept skipping them. And now I have to do them. But I want to get that series done, even though I'm going to be adding like occasional videos to it. And on that channel too, I want to make, for Mondays, I want to make like a shorter, you know, a very short, quick tip video about different topics. So I need to start thinking about those too. Maybe that's something we can start planning too in one of these videos, whether it's this one or this one, probably this one. Start getting those like lined up and how I'm going to film them. And even if it's something I take from prior footage on my channel as well, I can maybe do that too. So, and I also need to start making reels out of some of that stuff too. So maybe that's like more of what's going to be happening here. We can start figuring that stuff out. So this is good. I can really pencil it in here because I'm not really sure about this, but I might do a Procreate video here, and I might film Procreate video, and it could be more than one too, which would be nice, because I do want to do a day where I just film like a bunch of Procreate videos and I have those ready again in the vault. So I'm gonna pencil it in very lightly, but that's what I plan on doing there, but I'm not quite sure about that. So, and Sunday I'm not sure about yet. Like I said, I really wanted to get these first couple of days like figured out, so hopefully we can stay planned there the way they're supposed to be. But as for this video, I think I'm done. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next vlog, which is going to be about the new shelf that's coming over and a little bit more planning stuff. So see you there. Bye.